us.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll get started with it. The first thing that we really did, we presented the question to the crowd, which is like, how many of you guys remember what it was like to first start playing Smash? And as like the follow-up to this question, we have like example footage of people playing the game. It was actually from like 2012, but it's people playing the game with like no advanced techniques whatsoever. We're kind of describing like what characterizes that state of gameplay. You can see in the video clip there are a bunch of people, they're like dashing towards each other. They just like dash attack their way in and they try to like smash attack their way out. And like that's the extent of the strategy. Like there's no such thing as like micro spacing. There's no like fancy aerial combo, aerial gameplay. It's really just dash attack in. If they're at lower percent, they don't go very far. Do tilts. If they're at higher percent, smash.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Dude, let's show them.
I'm down to play it.
Yeah, let's play this one.
Can we just play it?
Yeah, we can.
Cool. No, that's readjusting the size.
Yeah, we can.
He just throws everything. It's all broken now.
We should be able to.
Do you have the video clip stored on my computer?
Yeah, it's embedded in the PowerPoint. That's why it's like 300 megabytes.
Well, now PowerPoint is not responding, so that's cool. Yes. All right. Cool. Yeah, you can just like kind of see like you watch. Just like pick one of the characters to watch, and you can see like what happens. Like Peach is running in, dash attack. Fox is running in, dash attack, up tilts, dash attack, up smash. Falcon's just like rapid chapping in the middle stage. Fox is dash attacking back and forth. Like this is gameplay. This is what we have chosen to call the dark ages of Smash. Now each one of these like different ages has a very similar theme. We kind of like picked different stages of recent human era. What is it called? What's the timeline called?
I mean, it just kind of follow like the European history. So like Dark Ages and coming out of it.
Yeah.
So like if you guys don't know European history, I don't know it very well either. You might not know what's coming up, but if you do, you can probably guess the next different eras. But I guess the idea is that when Melee came out in late 2001, everybody, well not everybody, most people who bought Melee, they were in the Dark Ages in the sense that what they did was primarily what you see right here.
They just smash.
Smash.
I really like the dash in, smash out strat. That's a personal favorite. Also the roll in Smash. You just roll around and try to throw out smash attacks. That's more popular with like Falco and Marth and Roy in the earlier days.
Yeah.
It's solid strat. But again, so this is the Dark Ages. We consider this to be a state of play. So even though we have this like progression of the timeline, the progression can really be applied to individuals and not just like the scene as a whole. Like every individual kind of goes through these different stages. They go through picking up different techniques, and then they go through different things that they focus on. In each of the eras, like people typically progress through the eras individually. And in this case, again, this footage is from 2012. I still consider these people to be stuck in the dark ages of Smash because they don't have an understanding of like the higher level gameplay.
This particular clip, right?
This particular clip, yeah.
And you can tell because like, look at the quality of this clip. Like this is a 2012 or 2013 capture card.
Yeah.
Like nobody in 2001 had this, right?
The joke we wanted to make was like, oh, clearly not recorded on some kind of quality of potato.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Dark Ages again is not restricted to like a certain time. Like these are people in 2013 who are still in the Dark Ages. You may or may not know somebody
who's still stuck in the dark ages. In the Dark Ages.
All right, so
the question that we ask is, how do you get out of the Dark Ages? And the thing that really enabled people to get out of the Dark Ages was the ability to communicate ideas specifically over the internet. We had the early resources of Smashboards, we had GameFAQs, we also had the DC++ hub. We actually talked a bit more about the DC++ hub than Smashboards and GameFAQs because this gave us like video evidence of what other people were working on. Wait, Smash practice frames are dropping all over the place? Are you... I don't know what comes up.
Superhero. Is anyone?
Is anybody else having problems with like frames dropping? Just out of curiosity. Anyway, so yeah, we talked a bit about the DC++ hub because in the earlier days, like even though GameFAQs.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, Tim 420 SSBM is saying the same thing, so that's probably a concern actually.
Do you think it's because we have too much stuff going?
Huh. We could.
Oh, frames are dropping when the video is playing.
Yes, you said it before. Sorry, we were in our lecture mode.
Only when the videos are playing, everything is fine now. Let's move on.
Okay.
All right. So again, we didn't really want to spend too much time playing the videos or showing that kind of stuff, so not a big deal. But DC++ was a big deal compared to Smashboards and GameFAQs. Smashboards and GameFAQs is more like people communicate ideas and talk about things and get excited over it and try to implement it, but the video evidence is really like what spurs people to understand what's going on in different regions, and it's hard to get videos because again at this time we didn't really have YouTube or anything like that. It was DC++ was it's the IRC hub was the only resource that was out there for you to go reach out to somebody and download videos of other areas gameplay. And there happened to be a guy in Japan, Tetsuya, who recorded a lot of his stuff, had his own website in like 2001, 2002, and was putting his videos on his website. So people would go onto his website, download stuff, and this guy was doing a lot of like discovery stuff for Melee and posted a lot of really useful things that slowly got disseminated into the Smash community and like through the IRC hub. The other thing was that a lot of tournament footage could only be found through the IRC hub. The only way that you could download something through IRC is so if you think about it from like a file sharing perspective, like BitTorrent, it's crowd sharing. In IRC, you have to download directly from one guy. So if that guy has a queue of people waiting to download his videos, you are just shit out of luck. Like if you're 30th in the queue, you're probably not getting it that day. You have to like sit there and try and snipe positions. As soon as that guy gets online, hit him up, download it off of him, and hope that you're early in the queue. And that's it.
That's what M3D was telling us. Like back in the day, like when a tournament was going on and like when a tournament finished, like the Monday after, you would wait in DC++ for like a particular person to sign on online. Apparently the person was Snex. Yeah. And like you would know that like Snex is the guy who recorded all the videos. You wait for him to come online, and you gotta jump him. You gotta like make those requests for those videos quick. Otherwise everyone else is gonna be in the queue and you're just gonna be late to watching those videos. And that's just how it was back then. Like if you wanted to watch the grand finals of a big tournament, you can't just go on YouTube and search again like Leffen or Armada or like Mango versus Lucky or whatever. You had to actually really work for those videos,
and it would take a long time to download. Download speeds were not what they were now.
Yeah.
Back then, like it would take you probably. Was there like cable internet back then? 2001, probably.
Maybe not. But the point is that once again, Smashboards, GameFAQs,
the distribution
and
of
DC++
information was what allowed a lot of people to get out of the dark ages.
Because at the time, discoveries were being made. Wave dashing, for example, like our sources tell us that Tetsuya discovered it, and like eventually he recorded it, and that trickled down to the U.S. Community, and like through DC++, for example, information spread. The community eventually kind of learned about wave dashing, and that became like a common thing. Techniques such as like short hopping and L canceling and certain dash techniques were in 64, and eventually those 64 players who knew about them, transferred that information either through Smashboards, GameFAQs, or DC++, and eventually the community learned about it. So once this information became more public or more widespread through the community, we estimate that to be around like early mid-2002. We are calling this era the Renaissance. Because, the Renaissance is this like explosion of information. Once the communities through Smashboards, GameFAQs, DC++ were kind of established, advanced techniques, competitive play, like that became more of a thing, more of a standard, compared to, let's say, just random people in their living room playing with their friends in free-for-all all the time.
So the other thing about the Renaissance is that it is more characterized by individual techniques that have a big impact on gameplay. You'll see later. Again, we have it blacked out. We did that for the presentation, but you'll see later that in those later sections, like what gets focused on is more ideas, like areas of gameplay to study and develop rather than individual techniques to implement. But again, the Renaissance is characterized by shield grabbing, characterized by movement, wave dashing, and dash dancing, characterized by our ability to like reduce our lag through the execution of shuffling, or not shuffling, but like out canceling in general.
Yeah. Well,
so-
all the components, right? Short hop,
Yeah.
fast falling, and out canceling. They all.
Each of those are in their own way important, and some of those components actually have a change in mechanic from 64. So they impact gameplay in ways that 64 players weren't familiar with, but you can kind of see the inspiration of how they use it coming from 64.
Mhm.
And then the last one we have there is like survival DI. Survival DI is again like a new thing to Melee. It wasn't in 64. In 64 they only have Smash DI, the ability to like shift your body position, but your trajectory is always the same off of a hit. So
Right.
I don't want to take a look at the early Renaissance gameplay. We have video
No.
clips of Ken versus Vociferous from TG4, and it is like comically bad.
That is something
from
that-
the perspective of right now, but back then that was like the peak of gameplay. That was the peak of the competitive meta.
Dude, that is something I feel like we actually should show. It's really funny.
It's gonna drop frames though. It's not. Gonna
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Oh,
Dude.
play it, please.
Yeah. Let's
No,
just let's try. Let's try.
We should have the video separately. That's the problem. Because it's probably eating up too much memory playing it out of PowerPoint.
Yeah. How would that eat up memory though?
No, I don't know. I'm just making shit up.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. I'm gonna play the original clip because this is like it's a little small. That's what she said. It's a little small, so like.
I deleted them all off of my computer.
You butthole. Okay, let's.
How are you gonna call me a butthole for deleting stuff off my computer? That's like your favorite thing to do.
No.
Just get rid of the bar.
I don't know how to get rid of the bar.
Just click it and move the mouse elsewhere. Leave it alone.
Can't see.
You stop touching it. Just see if it'll disappear on its own.
It didn't. It didn't. I tried.
Damn it.
Forward smash. Dude, he baited at the get up attack with his double jump. Sick. Dude, the barrel.
Barrel. So he just techs and rolls in. Forward smash, forward smash, forward smash, detail, forward smash. Yes! Yes. So again, one of the things that characterizes like this era of gameplay is that the competitive rule sets hadn't really been developed that well. So like we see a lot of these like so-called jank stages. We see a lot of like items in gameplay. There are differing opinions on. Oh, you guys can't see this. Vociferous just the stage turns and he SDs like he just falls straight down.
Wait, replay that. It's actually really funny. He even jumps and then he just gets stuck, and because there's no ledge down there, the up B does nothing.
Yeah. But yeah, there's like a difference in opinion on whether it should be 4-stock or 5-stock in competition. The up throw kill at like.
Oh my god! I did not notice that the first time. Wait, is this the fourth row?
No, not yet.
Alright.
It comes later then.
Alright, we have to get to this like.
He uses a dash dance right there, just like a single dash in, dash back into forward smash. I thought that was so impressive. Yes. Yes.
Wait, why didn't he keep going?
Because it ran out of ammo.
Oh, here we go. All right, check this out.
Fourth row.
Wait. Real quick. Look at this. Look at this excellent use of shield grab. One of the techniques that defined the Renaissance. Look at this. This is early Renaissance, and he uses shield grab. Look at that.
Oh! Forward smash into forward smash. Yes.
All right. So that was some early Renaissance gameplay. Again, with the four techniques being. What do we have? Shield grab, movement, shuffle, survival DI, and in our actual talk, we went into more detail as to like what each of those things were or are, I guess. I think we can make the assumption that most of the chat is familiar with those techniques.
Hopefully. I hope you guys are. You might be in the dark ages and we just don't know.
Wow.
I mean, we're here to help them out of that, though.
All right. But moving on. So actually, let's see. So in this timeline. the Renaissance ends around mid 2007, and during that time, it's like I feel like most of the focus is on these 4 techniques, specifically.
One thing that I did want to add in here that we didn't have in here is that during the Renaissance, people do learn to do like combo DI. We have like a focus on mitigation later on, but when you watch combos in like 06, 07, people do know how, or like they're starting to learn how to DI out of combos. Like even in 2006, like me versus Mewtwo King, I was learning how to DI different ways against like Mark Little combos like that. But that wasn't an unknown thing really.
So do you know the term West Coast DI? Do you know the whole story about that?
No, I know that you guys had terrible DI and we made fun of you for a long time.
See, that's because we were ahead of you. We were too smart for you East Coast busters. Do you know why?
Trying to combo DI?
Do you know why?
No, I don't.
I'm trying to do Scar right now. I'm trying to do Scar. It's really funny, right?
It's different.
It's different?
It's different.
Is it not Scar? Am I not doing a good Scar impression? What is this?
You tried.
Alright. West Coast DI. There is a misconception on what West Coast DI was. Because in the East Coast, you guys gave us a lot of shit for that. But
yeah, it's because we would see you guys die at like 30% from a Mark Tipper.
With good reason. With good reason. Because we had a player named Silent Spectre who would do a knee or a stomp into reverse knee. And sometimes that would mix up your DI.
Why wouldn't you just hold up?
Well, that's just one example. But there are some combos.
It's a bad example.
No,
you
okay,
used
well,
a bad example.
Well,
point made. West Coasters have no idea how to DI properly.
No. But there are other combos like Silent Spectre mixing up between up air and knee. He would do multiple up airs, and we would do like DI away to get out of the up air chains, right? Okay. While as East Coast, they would always do survival DI, and they would just like get stuck in the up airs. So we would choose between DIing away and doing survival DI, and admittedly, we chose wrong a lot of the times, but
the positioning involved to do an up air chain and to do a forward air chain it's very different.
We had bad reaction time back in the day.
Poor ability to recognize scenarios. Another defining characteristic of the Renaissance of Smash. We don't really know everything that can happen, so positioning where that other character is doesn't really register quite yet. Yeah.
I'm really glad that some people are giving me some love. That was probably a terrible Scar impression, but earlier on you guys gave me some shit for my bad Toph acting.
I did okay with the mango one.
Dude, shut up, dude. It's not about you. It's about me right now. It's about me right now.
Real bad.
God damn it. Alright, well thank you guys for humoring me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, anyways. But like, yeah, survival DI, combo DI, West Coast DI was... You guys thought that we just had really crappy DI because we would get kneed and we would die, or we would die to a tipper. We were trying to anti-combo DI. We gave you guys credit, thinking you guys would try to extend the combo, but you guys never did. East Coast would just go for the early finisher and just try to do the easy thing, and we just overestimated you guys.
Sure.
And we would die for it.
Sure, that was the reason.
Dude, East Coast.
I want to interrupt our little presentation thing. Just to, this is a question we actually answer kind of often, but I use X instead of Y to jump. Should I switch to Y now, or should I stick with X? It is just preference.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter a whole lot. There is a different feel to like having the tip of your thumb resting on Y and then like your knuckle resting on A, as opposed to sliding your thumb left from X to A. But again, it's not huge. It doesn't matter that much.
Yeah. Some people also do control stick only, right?
Yeah.
They like
control stick players. Tap jumps.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. All right. So the combination of, I guess the way we presented this, it was more like we felt that there was like a slight bias towards movement and shuffle, because that allowed the game to be a lot faster than what we've seen in the Dark Ages. So like with movement, we got dash dancing, wave dashing. It's like, oh man, I can move across the stage super fast and like do all these things. Shuffle, it's like, oh man, I can string together all of these moves.
It's not just about stringing together moves, though. Shuffling also had this huge defensive advantage because it was much safer for you to throw out attacks. Like, if you think about it, if somebody's trying to dash dance grab you, and you throw out a move and don't know how to L cancel, the point where they would start their movement towards you and the window that they have to punish your landing is much bigger. So like they can straight up start dashing at you from further away and still successfully connect whatever their hit is or their grab. But if you're able to L cancel, that like spacing window where you have to start that movement towards them becomes much smaller, half as large.
Yeah, maybe you guys were ahead of us. I don't know, but in the West Coast, no, I don't know. But I do feel like, at least me personally,
Yeah.
and I feel like a lot of my peers, we definitely did that, but we had a huge focus on moving very fast.
I was more about baiting.
Dude,
I was such a baiter.
stringing tons of moves together, and as a result, what was really popular during that age? Combo videos, right?
Combo videos.
I mean, I really feel that way, and like every other week we would have another dude trying to put out another combo video. Like,
combo
hey,
videos were amazing back then, though. Like combo videos back then, every single combo video that came out, like the good ones at least, what characterized them as being good combo videos was that they would have some like new piece of information. Like they would have some link that we hadn't seen yet. They would have like edge guards that we hadn't seen yet. They would demonstrate something that wasn't popular yet. And after that combo video came out, people would want to imitate the things that happened. So you would see these different like combo trees, just like at your local from players that played that character, and it was kind of incredible to watch like that kind of information get spread just through something as simple as a combo video. But they also brought in new players, like this guy. Shine Blind was my first combo video.
mine as well.
I love Shine Blind.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, combo videos, I think, for a lot of people really redefined. It was really what got people into the Renaissance, essentially. Like, it showed people that, like, hey, you don't have to play Smash by just smashing. You can string together moves in ways that you've never seen before. And, you know, that was really appealing, and that showed people that, like, you know, you can do all of these incredible things, and it was just very, very sexy. I feel like the word sexy is correct. Like, when I first saw Bomb Soldier, I'm like, oh my god, you're so sexy. Yeah. And I want to be just like you. And that's really my that was my motivation to getting into the game. But at some point we kind of figured out most of the links.
Could you click on that guy's name and block him?
This?
No, down one. Yep.
Alright.
No, that one.
Ban?
Yep.
Straight up ban.
Yep.
Okay.
Done.
Alright. Nice. Got rid of him. Yeah, he was spamming, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Alright. Combo videos?
Yeah,
combo videos.
So combo videos. Again, the good combo videos always showed something new or were just incredibly flashy and would inspire people to want to learn a little bit more about the game and enter into the Renaissance.
Yeah. I feel like combo videos were the original documentary where it's like, hey, check out this unseen side of Melee.
Does that make us combo video kids?
Yeah, I was a Bomb Soldier kid.
We can call ourselves combo.
I was a DBR kid. DBR kid, I feel like, was the original doc kid.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I'm a DBR kid.
I'm a DBR kid.
At heart.
Yeah, so, you know, people are talking about Ken versus Bomb Soldier. Which group had the most influence on combo videos?
DBR,
I feel like the
definitely.
Oh yeah, DBR by far. By far.
DBR is the NorCal group with Germ, by the way.
Yeah. So, I do think that at some point, combo videos were slowing down. People were kind of figuring out most of the ways to kind of link moves together, and that's essentially what we called combos at the time, just like ways to link things together. And, you know, we had to take a new approach because that aspect of Melee was slowing down. Like, everyone was kind of getting good at it. People were also starting to figure out how to get out of it, and so combos in general were becoming, like, less strong unless you did them a certain way or took a certain approach, which kind of leads us to our next age and kind of our next hero being
The Reformation.
wait, wrong. This one.
The Reformation era.
The Reformation.
So again, there's a difference in the Renaissance and the Reformation here. The Renaissance has more like individual techniques that people had learned and were working on and trying to implement. The Renaissance is a period of implementation. The Reformation era is a period of development. So the three things that get developed in this era, we have punishment development, we have spacing development, and then we have like this defensive development. So yeah, this also comes with a change in mindset. This is a change in like change from like intuitive discovery about the game to deliberately studying different pieces of the game to try and push towards mastery.
Yeah, absolutely. And we kind of felt like that opened up with the punishment development, specifically with our man Mewtwo King.
Mewtwo King. That's the guy I'm most familiar with. Mewtwo King had been working probably throughout the Renaissance in a very like unique way, and when that really became apparent, like when the result of all of his work really became apparent, it was mid 2007, and he started to like really show up at tournaments. There was FCD, which unfortunately the videos were lost, and nobody really got to see like how dominant he was at that tournament. OC3, we had him versus like in Cruise. He really demonstrated it. He happened to lose to PC, which was kind of like strange, honestly.
In my opinion as well. Yeah.
But yeah, he still got second in that. But he was incredibly strong at that tournament. In Cruise, he took 17 stock from Ken's crew, which was crazy return, and that was like a pretty strong crew, honestly. I think they got second in Cruise. It was
no, they didn't. Well, they got second in Cruise, but we talked about this. My crew, the Bayesians, did the best against the #1 crew, took the most stocks.
You guys took 4, right?
We took way more than. well, actually, Falco Mist was sent in against Trudat on FD, and he beat Trudat.
Okay.
4 stocks to 4.
Nice.
So he had 1 stock left. Anyways, doesn't matter. Keep going.
Wait, how many players did we have left?
Enough. We took out Chu and Vigil for sure.
Okay.
So we took out at least 8.
Did Mewtwo King even go in against you guys?
He did.
Okay.
He 4-stocked me on FD.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference. I only got to play once in that entire like tournament in Cruise, and it was against whatever crew Idris was on.
Yeah. Okay.
Unimportant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mewtwo King was incredibly strong, and it wasn't that like his spacing was like that great. It wasn't that his defense was great. It was that his punishment game was by and far the strongest of any player at the time. And,
yeah.
Like he was the only player that I would consider having like a death touch in that era, specifically against Fox and Falco. But
or to even come close.
Yeah.
Like we did have Ken who did do chin grabbing and like did have that death touch sometimes on FD.
But that's FD, dude.
Yeah.
Mewtwo King could do that on like most of the stages against Spaceys. It was crazy.
He was one of the first people to really kind of figure out like the tech chase and platform tech chase aspects.
Edge guarding.
Edge guarding,
was
yeah.
also next level for its age.
Like I think back in the day, maybe people are like Ken's edge guarding was fine, but when we look back, it's like Ken's edge guarding is like, But Mewtwo King's edge guards, like he actually, I remember in Cruise, like he would like back or down throw Isaiah off the stage, and he would actually just like either gimp him or like continue to hit him off repeatedly until he would die. That was not a thing back then. And here, again, we put it in mid 2007. The first time I saw it was in OC3. You said he did that at FC Diamond, but no one really knew, like, unless they went to the tournament, right? I felt like that became like a huge thing at OC3, mid 2007. That was the first time people really saw like the modern way of punishing people. Not just doing like a simple chain grab, but also doing like reaction tech chases, platform tech chases, platform, I don't know, just like combos, edge guards, everything that we see today. That was the first glimpse that we had.
So moving into the next thing that gets developed, spacing development.
Yeah.
Not very long after punishment development gets pushed by Mewtwo King, Mango also shows up on the scene, and
I feel like this is one of the ones where you can kind of just like show the clip as well, right?
The clips are...
No, you don't think so?
They do demonstrate a little bit, but I mean, if you want to play it, I'll just talk about it while we're playing it.
Yeah.
So the thing about Mango is that, I mean, prior to Mango, like spacing... Oh, totally wrong. Spacing was really considered more as... Is this like an older... This is not there. Unless it's right there, that first one.
No, it's not. It's just not there. It's an older one. That's fine.
Okay. So the thing about Mango is that he demonstrated that there was more to spacing than just like walling out your opponent or just like throwing out moves with a lot of distance to them. Why is this so far back? He demonstrated the ability to like comfortably push in and out of an opponent's space and mix up between like provoking and trapping the opponent. And his ability to do that with Jigglypuff in particular, he had such a high mobility while he was in the air. He could just weave inside and out, and you just feel really uncomfortable with him next to you at all times. Like, he had really strong like rest setups. His combo game was like way higher than the other Jigglypuff mains. Like, it was scary playing against Mango, and for him to be so confident just putting himself inside your space like that, it was incredible for its time. This also happened to get paired up against Mewtwo King in that era, and the thing about this is that, again, Mewtwo King had developed his ability to mostly combo fastballers and midweights. Going up against a floaty character, like, you can't punish floaties in that way. You can't really like zero to death floaties, especially as like Marth or Sheik. So it was very frustrating to Mewtwo King, but Mango's style, again, being as exciting as it is, it does encourage other players to pay attention to him and to try and play like Mango, at least a little.
Mango spacing, that was a thing for a very long time.
Dude, Mango spacing is so good.
Yeah.
Too good.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yep. And the kind of next one that we had is a little more general. It was more defensive development, and these include like a bunch of different things. So while this was all happening, while the Mewtwo King stuff was happening, the spacing stuff was happening, we saw that in response to kind of like the Renaissance, like all these, you know, like combo type pressure stuff, like the shine down air, and just like, you know, spacing an aerial, like a shuffle aerial into a jab or an up tilt.
You start to ask questions, and it's like, how the heck do I defend against that? What do I do?
A big one that was starting to be developed was right there, Shine Out of Shield. Probably like one of the best out of shield options that you have. Right there, that's Eggum demonstrating early uses of Shine Out of Shield without leaving the ground. Very, very strong, as you can see. Another really popular one that I think Armada was one of the first people to really consistently do, as you see there, was Aerial Out of Shield.
The nearly frame perfect Aerial Out of Shield.
Nearly frame perfect. Dude, this is amazing. So what Armada does, but then Mango sneaks in that up air. Like, look at that. So Mango's getting comboed, bam, bam, up air. Who does that? Alright. We also have up B out of shield. Up B out of shield being very strong with Samus in particular, because you can do the up B.
And Bowser.
And Bowser.
Give Bowser a little love. Bowser's up B out of shield needs to be respected.
You're right.
Not at all.
You're right. Dude, Bowser's up B is strong.
It is.
It's good. Alright, so there were obviously a lot of like other character-specific techniques developed as well, but
yeah.
To be general, I think this Reformation period. Oops, no one saw that. This Reformation period, kind of reforming our strategies and kind of figuring out what the next things to develop were. Again, punishment, spacing, and defensive stuff. But even that has an end, right? With Mewtwo King's punish game kind of combated by Mango's spacing, we kind of need to go a little bit further.
We do.
Yeah. On both sides, actually, because punishment, there's still room to be better. Spacing, obviously, like a lot of Mango's stuff were still kind of like read heavy. They weren't like perfect spacing techniques. Like sometimes he would cross people up, but there are options to beat his options that he picked. Defensive options, we kind of just like did things that we kind of knew were fast, but we didn't really know or study the frame data. We didn't know like, oh, we should always use this in this situation. No, we kind of just like did stuff when it felt like it worked.
So to like go over this, it's just the Dark Ages, we don't know anything. The Renaissance, it's like this intuitive discovery and implementation process. The Reformation is the development of like these major areas of gameplay.
Yeah.
And then the next one, the scientific revolution, is all about optimization. It's taking these like theories that we have, taking like the general direction of the development, and proving what does and doesn't work, and like really digging into the game, looking at the frame data to decide it, kind of making judgments based on like the difficulty level of things to execute, looking at these specific pieces of gameplay and figuring out what the best possible action and how to execute it is.
Yeah.
So those 4 big things we pointed out. Ledge optimization, what we do on the ledge. The ledge is a huge part of the game. It's
now it is, at least.
Yeah, it used to be just considered like if you're on the ledge, you're at a disadvantage. Yujukin kind of showed like the early stages of the ledge can be played effectively, but now we have like hack stashing, we have the perfect ledge dash, we have all these different techniques that come into play when you get put on the ledge that reduce how bad that situation is, or even give your character advantage off of the edge.
Yeah, when hacks first started doing this to me, like, you know, at first it's like, again, I get my opponent to the ledge, oh, I have him cornered, I'm winning. Nope, hacks ledge dashes and hits me with a nair before his invincibility runs out. Great. Okay, so yeah, when he's on the ledge, I have to move to the other side of the stage. Yeah, that's great. That's kind of how it felt at first. I mean, that's obviously not true, and we obviously have like a lot of we've kind of developed counter strategies for ledge dashing. It's like it's actually not like that.
It's like a neutral game interaction though.
Yeah.
It didn't used to be like that. It used to just be like, oh, I can just put like an aerial out when I think that their intangibility is going to run out. But now it's like you have to beat them in a neutral game interaction even while they're coming off of the ledge. And
yeah,
it's rough.
It's precisely what it is. Yeah.
So the next thing that comes around though is mitigate. These aren't in order, so when I say next, it's just our list. The next thing on our list is mitigation optimization. Mitigation is your ability to reduce your opponent's ability to combo you or extend their combo, or to even like find these little escapes in all these different scenarios, like being able to intuitively DI so that you edge slip out of combos, or like if you get shined by Fox, being able to fastball immediately after you go over the edge and grab the ledge rather than fall off the stage and get set up for a shine spike. There are all kinds of like little pieces of the mitigation game that you can study and implement into your gameplay, and mitigation also leads to a lot of like you can find counterattack opportunities. Like one thing that Zoo does really well is
thank you.
Thunder's combo was a big deal for a really long time, and against a lot of players, like Thunder's combo still works. But if you try to do Thunders against Zoo, he gets a counterattack out of it because he smash DIs the jab up, suddenly is reset into the air, and has kind of an opportunity.
Dude, I've done this thing where like someone will SDI, or like someone will try to Thunders me, I'll SDI up, they'll run towards me and I'll shine, and they're like, holy crap, wow, that's really good. And then so the next iteration of that, they'll like try to Thunders me again and try to get me to like try to bait out that shine, but I know that they're waiting for it. They like do a dash dance and I just run and like short hop down there, and they're like, well, fuck you, dude.
I like this question. What is Thunderous? Thunders. It's Thunder's combo. It's like a possessive of Thunder.
Who's Thunder?
Thunder was a Japanese player. He was a Fox player, and he was the first one to popularize Shine knockdown into wave dash forward jab to do the reset.
Did you know Thunders is Bomb Soldier's dad?
That's not true.
It's not true at all.
That's not true.
Yeah.
I think a little bit. Piece.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's just like an example of mitigation optimization, though. We had some examples in like a video form too, like jab reset from Falcon against Sheik into like a double jump out. Don't bother.
No. Okay. Yeah.
I think another one we had is. Like most of it's SDI related, but another one we had is like escaping from Ice Climber's down throw, down air, regrab. Yeah, that kind of stuff. That's all part of mitigation optimization. What we do after that, those options, is also a big deal. To interrupt, oh, Zeus just gonna respond. So the next thing that we have is shield pressure optimization. Prior to looking into this stuff, we just have this like vague idea of like, oh, if we hit a shield at this height or whatever, it will probably link into Shine. After that, we just spam aerials and hope that we hit them.
Yeah.
Now we're looking more into it like, once we hit shield, the first hit, before we can do the Shine, what are all their options after that first hit hits? If we hit that Shine, what are all those options and what can we do against them all? based on what each level, each iteration in that like shield pressure tree, what they do, what can we do to beat it? And a lot of the time it comes down to like a kind of rock, paper, scissors game. Like you can't react to everything that happens inside of shine pressure. You kind of have to have an idea of how they're gonna act based on like feel and intuitively make these guesses, but you need to craft your intuition to use very specific things that you intend to like counter what their options are. Like the big one is, if shine hits your shield, a double shine from Fox can beat your roll. Like if you do a frame perfect double shine, it will catch your roll in the vulnerability. The first 2 frames I think are vulnerable, and you can get hit out of your roll, but if you aren't frame perfect on that, then you don't hit it. You probably won't get the follow up and be able to catch it. If they just sit there and hold shield, obviously like shine grab is the best thing. If they're trying to do a grab in response to your shine, double shine is the important one again. Like it's important to know what the wheel of options and how to respond to each situation, what all that stuff is. Okay. So the last one is like punishment optimization. I mean, we're still not quite there, but you can see punishment is getting really developed. People are figuring out what the better options are to do in each situation, and not just what the better options are, but exactly where they need to position their character against the other character so that they can get an additional follow-up that they might not have been able to get otherwise. So, I mean, I think that one's pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm. So I did want to point out that before, when we first started this scientific revolution thing, like people were talking about Magus. And I feel like he was one of the...
He's an early day theory crafter.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the things that he was working on really matched up with this kind of mindset. Like the scientific revolution is a mindset, but it's also like it's something that needs to be applied as well by the general population. Like even if there were a few people thinking in these terms before, if like people weren't doing them, like we just weren't at that era yet. So once again, like the 4 things that you mentioned, I'm sure were like thought about or discussed on the boards by people like Magus or Keidano in particular, but it just took us until what, 2013?
The execution ability wasn't anywhere close to be able to do that stuff, and the level of play wasn't there yet. So even though that theory exists, if you don't pair theory with execution, then it's not meaningless, but it doesn't get implemented into the meta.
Mm-hmm. So I think we went over those 4, and we also mentioned that there were a few other techniques. One being shield drop, right? Shield drop is like a really, really like popular and powerful, and honestly like a game-changing like defensive and offensive technique. It's like everything. Oh my god.
There are some techniques that fall under several different areas of gameplay, and shield dropping is one of these. Shield dropping is a mitigation option. If you're on a platform and you need to escape or even want to counterattack, you can shield drop out of shield pressure. It can be a shield pressure.
Yeah, it can be a shield pressure.
It could potentially, but like you can hit somebody's shield on like a platform and do a shield drop in place rather than. Would you do it with that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, but then it's also like a punishment optimization technique where in the middle of combos you can do a shield drop into some kind of hit to extend your combo rather than doing something that would be typically possible. Yeah, it falls under a lot of categories and it's just a very strong technique. What texts do you guys think still need to be discovered? If we knew, they would be discovered, right?
There's still a lot of like interesting things, right? Like one of the questions is, where do we go from now? Like, what's the next thing to work on? And I think some of the things include power shielding. I think that's something that's like kind of used but not fully abused yet. Like the idea of like being able to power shield release into shine is incredible, because normally, at least at Spacies, we're used to shielding into jumping into shine, and that's a whole extra, what, like 3 frames or 3 or 5 frames depending on the jump squad of Fox or Falco.
Yep.
But with power shield, you can power shield something, drop the shield, not have to jump squad at all, shine. That is OP. Well, it may or may not be OP. It's just like a strong option that you potentially could have.
I want to answer this one.
Yeah.
Prison Fan. So when
Light
was
shielding.
pivoting first discovered and implemented?
Dude, I don't know.
So pivoting for me, I had read about it on the boards when probably in my first year of playing as a Marth main, and Marth players were the ones who really wanted to do pivoting before anything else. Pivoting actually came from 64. Pivoting is possible in 64, but I had read it because Ark had posted about it. Ark Natural, still a guy who is widely like credited with promoting pivoting, and in 2007, my rival at the time was Court, the Peach player, and
I hate Court.
I straight up won sets against him because I worked on my pivoting game at the time, and nobody really got to see that. Like, I had implemented pivoting into my Marth game specifically for the Peach matchup in 2007. And I was beating this top level Peach. So yeah, it was implemented as early as then. It didn't really get a whole lot of gameplay. Like, I stopped using pivoting as a Fox player. Like, there's just no real reason for it. But it's been around for a long time, actually.
If you want to know more about pivoting, of course, the 20GX guys are the right guys to look into for that.
What's this window that you have? In like the processing state.
Twitch alerts? Yeah, cannot be started. It's fine. I was just curious because Twitch alerts is now back up. Woohoo!
I have a feeling that Windows 10 is messing with it. I want to reinstall.
Definitely. All right.
Yeah. And that's kind of like the main 4 stages. So we are, like, as a scene, a lot of us are in the scientific revolution. There are a lot of groups out there that are trying to help other people get to this state. And I mean, there's SSBM tutorials. They do a great job of outlining like beginner level material right now, and even some like mid to advanced level stuff.
Like Renaissance Reformation stuff, honestly.
Yeah, they're doing a really great job of that. They put out a lot of tutorials. An overwhelming amount.
Overwhelming amount, yeah.
But they also do they do a lot of like player interviews and they just do interviews and try to get content from other people. I like that though.
No, it's great. It's great.
Seeing the interviews at tournaments and just like what players are thinking right before they're actually going into their matches. I think that's pretty cool.
I think the thing I love about Smash, and I guess it's now like you can see it as an industry, is that like
it's your boy Kira. You already know.
We have this this progression of the technical side of Melee, but like for me, seeing SSBM tutorials put out that interview stuff where they have like a nice camera and they do the interviews, that's actually kind of what initially pushed me to get like my own camera to get higher quality footage.
Dude, I told you to do that so long ago.
Yeah, but still, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready. I was in the Dark Ages. Maybe I was in the Renaissance. I had a GoPro.
It was theory that the execution wasn't yet paired with, so it was unnecessary at the time.
Maybe.
I was being Magus.
Right. You were, yeah, Cactus is Magus, yes.
I was Magus.
Good job, Blur. Making this about you.
It's about us, bro. But SSBM Tutorials does a really great job. We also gave a shout out to 20GX, even though, like, when we had to provide the example of 20GX in our screenshots, like 20GX posts all their stuff on YouTube as Captain Falcon rather than 20GX.
Yeah.
And like the whole bunch of it is just like S2J versus random 20GX member like money match videos. And then at the very bottom there was like a something about optimization play. So I clicked on that one and it plays a video and it's just like a Captain Falcon combo video in the start. So I'm just like I'm trying to show people that you guys are actually showing people like good stuff, and it's just nonsense Captain Falcon stuff. Anyway, so 20GX is kind of cool. And then we are out there. We're also trying to. We're not so much on the individual technique stuff, but we really like to talk about like development and optimization stuff. But we also like to talk about mindset and like approaching tournament environment and improvement in general. Improvement, I think, is like the theme of Smash practice rather than individual technique.
It works out really well, I think, given the groups out there, because when, like, let's say someone needs some help and they come to us with a question. How do I beat Marth, right? I mean, there's the approach where you give them answers, like direct answers. Like, oh, you beat Marth by picking Sheik. Or you beat Marth by specifically, like, you know, abusing his, like lack of outer shield off.
You gotta also ask like what Marth though. Like if it's a Marth that just spams forward smash, you beat that Marth by shielding the forward smash and wave dashing forward.
Well, there's that. But what I was gonna get into was there's like either there are people who answer the question, and there are people who kind of like ask questions back, maybe give you some resources so that you can find the answer for yourself and maybe find an answer that's like very suitable for you.
So rather than us telling them that they should shield and wave dash forward, it's what can you do when they forward smash, and we kind of guide them towards shield, and then what can you do out of shield?
Right.
Yeah.
And oftentimes like that person might figure out a better answer than maybe the one that we have. So I think what's going on right now is that SSBM tutorials, for example, they are like actually giving the direct answers. Like specific things that you can do in these situations. Like they have edge guarding tutorials, they have combo tutorials, they have matchup tutorials, right? I think for us, we're more focused on a more like either a mindset or like a thought process. We're like more focused on improving like a thought process rather than just giving specific details. And of course, we will give specific details.
Yeah.
If needed, or if to provide an example. But like our content is more of like that type of thing. So I think it balances it out very, very well.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, those are like the groups that are trying to push people like through these different eras. The next question that we really end up asking as the result of like these eras is, where are we going? Everybody wants to joke about this kind of thing, like what's next? Who's gonna take us there? What's gonna be at the end of the shiny rainbow? Is it a pot? I don't know.
Yeah.
Holy shit! There's so many purple names.
Dude, we kind of know what that looks like already, right? Can we show them? I really want to show this.
We kind of know. Yeah, we can show it.
Dude.
Click it. Just do it.
Dude, where are we going next? This is the future of Melee.
Oh, Captain TAS, Captain. And Falcon punch. Oh my god, so sick. Oh, these Falcons are way too high level for me.
Dude, I dream about being that blue Falco.
It's so strong.
Like it used to be just Bomb Soldier, but then I realized Bomb Soldier's a fraud.
So many lasers and power shields and wall techs and air dodges.
That's who I want to be.
Oh my god.
This is the future. This is the
wall
future.
tech.
This is me and Westballs in 10 years.
Oh.
This is the game that we're gonna play.
Oh. Yeah, no. TAS is probably not where we're gonna end up, but I don't know. It kind of gives people like an idea of like theory.
Yeah.
I mean, TAS, the problem with TAS is that human execution can... I don't want to say it can only go so high, but there is like a limit to our ability to make inputs as well as our ability to react to what's happening in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Where we are now and TAS, there's a huge divide.
Absolutely.
Huge divide. But more realistically, we do talk about like the end result. We talk about the final era. Do we have an era for that?
I think we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We call it the
Enlightenment.
The age of enlightenment, when all things are known and it's just a matter of execution.
Yes.
In the year 20XX, everything is known. Fox is the only player, only character that's played, and everything is determined by port priority.
Yeah.
Will we get there?
I don't know. Maybe. Hopefully.
You're not sure.
I don't know. You gotta turn off that brawl noise.
Yeah, I'm turning back to menu 2.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, there's a question like who is going to demonstrate this first, who is going to contribute to pushing us towards like the Enlightenment era. I don't know that we're ever going to reach the Enlightenment era, but again, it gets joked about like 20XX is the final stage, like everybody plays Fox, yada yada.
Yep.
Again, I don't know that we're going to get there, but like there's so much room for all the characters to really get developed. 20XX is really characterized by we are proving all of the theory with the research. One of the things that happens is the number of viable options in the game is severely reduced. It doesn't make it less fun, in my opinion. Zoo doesn't like it so much that like every situation can be kind of reduced down to just the best things. If all of the best things are guaranteed, assuming that the person's execution is on par and that like sometimes the execution required isn't that difficult. So that can make it kind of almost boring. Like the ground wobbling that we see from like Sheik, the repetitive like air wobbles that we see from Falcon, those are boring. Wobbling sucks. Those kinds of things, they just... The problem with them is that the level of interaction is kind of reduced, but
Yeah.
the amount of that kind of stuff that's in the game, I don't think is like that great, and I think that there's still room to improve our mitigation against those options and which options we pick against them. Like if we look at it statistically, like it might be way better just to never tech versus Sheik, or very rarely tech versus Sheik, so that they don't get in the habit, they don't get in the rhythm of being able to react to the techs.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? Yeah, so the next question again is, who is going to take us to the Enlightenment era? Is it going to be the gods? Is it going to be the gods of Melee?
Because top players are often the ones who influence the way the other players play. And a lot of these top players do honestly play a very advanced game.
Wait, who just won? We're missing somebody.
Are we? Dude, who are we missing?
No, we know.
No, who are we missing?
We know.
No,
There
chat,
could be only one.
chat. Who are we missing, chat? Who are we missing in this picture?
I haven't even seen it once yet. No, wait, the lag. Oh, Leffen.
Leffen, someone said Leffen.
Leffen,
We got Leffen
Leffen,
here. Hey,
Leffen in the
Leffen wasn't in there. Now he's there.
It's definitely not going to be Mango. That was a joke that I made.
Oh shit.
It's
Whoops.
definitely not Mango. It might be somebody even more celestial, even more whatever.
Yeah, could be
Not-
this guy.
Not that guy.
Not
That's
that guy?
Not the guy I had in mind. The guy that I had in mind is a little bit. He's more of an animal.
Yeah, he has a bit of a foxy personality.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh, foxy.
Who could it be? Oh. The actual presentation is better because it transitions into that. Like he slowly fades into the picture, but you guys get the point. This is just like a fun bit at the end of the presentation.
But on a
Realistically,
more-
his hands
yeah.
aren't going to be able to take it. So you can't pair theory with execution if you don't have hands.
Yep.
It's just a rule. That's just a thing.
Yep. Unless one day the controllers are actually connected to your neurons.
That's what I want.
You play with your brain.
I want that so badly.
Dude, in the world of VR, we wouldn't be playing at 2D
I
fighter.
think execution would still be difficult in that way because you would have to like very precisely send the right brain signals.
Right, that would be the new thing. And it could be some like really abstract like game that's not even like human bodies. It's like I don't know. I don't have a.
We're not gonna go into it.
Yeah, that's some Ghost in the Shell bullshit. All right, but on a more serious and realistic note, we believe that the people who are going to push Melee into the next era, whatever they might be, are
These guys, you guys,
You guys.
who are all shitposting in our chat. Thank
Yeah.
you for that.
Thank you.
Awesome. No, but realistically, like, it's a community effort. It's not like just one person ever. Like all of the discoveries that happened, it wasn't the gods that discovered everything. They're the ones who implemented all this stuff, but it was random players. It was people who just are passionate about the game. They make discoveries about it. They talk about it a little bit. People notice it. People start to incorporate it, and then suddenly, top level players are able to shield drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the way it works. And we hope that you guys are passionate about the game in that way. We hope that you guys, I don't know, show us what's next.
Yeah, I mean, like, growing up and seeing Melee evolve has really helped me kind of just see the way everything's evolved. I feel like society, cultures, products, companies, they all go through this similar thing. And, like, I don't know, it's a community effort. No one does it by themselves. It's no one man or woman or child or individual, really, who does that much in anything important. Everything is a group effort. Every little bit helps, and I really hope that people will continue to play Melee because there's a lot left. There's clearly a lot of things that we can still improve and learn on. And
Did he just walk up slowly and display the chat? Amazing. Amazing. You get the shout out, Yahoos. I like that one.
Dude, I don't know. It's just Melee's beautiful. Playing it at a high level is really something that we are blessed with. I don't know. Now I'm getting very like motivational and stuff, but like I don't know. It's been great. Like playing this game's been awesome.
And you can see how like
It's not just me. Everybody feels this way, right? I feel like everybody in the Melee community kind of feels that way.
and that's what you see when you go to like the major events. Even when you go to local events, you see everybody with like they're interacting outside of the game. They're all like happy about it. They're playing against each other. Some people do get salty, but like most of the time, like everybody's happy. It's I feel so much like happier when I'm in the Melee community than I am in like other aspects of life. Maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe I'm using it as an escape. I hope not.
RHD162248, I do love you. Senpai's noticed you.
Senpai.
You can be my kohai, right? Is that how it is? Kohai.
Cactus, I just opened my third eye and I see the savior of Melee, and he's right before me. You look so beautiful. Thank you, Black Arrow. I appreciate that. I will be the one to at least motivate others to take us to the Enlightenment age. Maybe I won't reach it myself because I'm old.
Yeah, that's the tricky part.
You wanna do the windows right so that we have that full screen again?
Yeah, absolutely. Alright, so originally what we did was we actually set up a live feed to a webcam and it showed the actual chat. Or the actual crowd.
The crowd chat.
Yeah. So we actually like showed the crowd, people got hyped and waved their hands and stuff. That was cool, right?
Yeah. And then we did some shoutouts. The big shoutouts we want to do, again, we talked about Brian a little bit earlier, but Brian, Mr. Corey Anderson, he is our graphics designer. He contributes like all of the artistic side of Smash Practice. He's actually like a big deal to us, and we appreciate him so much. Yeah, he put all of that like timeline stuff together, and he takes whatever vision we have and really like turns it into something real, and we can't thank him enough for that.
Absolutely.
And then we have Chillin' Dude, Kashan, Chillin' Dude 829, Khan. He did a little bit of consulting work with us. We sat down and we talked with him for like almost 2 hours, I think, on Skype, and he just like took us through like the old days of Melee, what it was like when people were first starting to implement like new N64 tech skill, what it was like interacting and playing with Azen, because Azen was one of like the first guys who really, he was so eager to implement new things. It's almost like he had this like foresight into how things were going to be in the future and what he needed to survive in that environment. And then we also had Ken Huang. And, yeah, we sat down with him for almost 2 hours as well, and we were just shooting the shit, talking about early days. He was actually a 64 player, so he actually ported Dash Dancing over from 64.
Sorry. People are calling me out for Ken Hong. I had to do it. It was just the format that I had to take.
You someone did Sephiroth, Ken.
Someone was like Mike Ross. Julian Zoo. I love it.
But you would be the zookeeper. Like that should have been Sephiroth. Ken. Not important.
No, it's Ken. Yeah, it's just Ken.
The shout out to him goes for consulting. He also provided us lots of video clips, like those TG4 matches of him on freaking Brinstar and Mute City and Corneria. He took the time out of his day to set up OBS. No, set up OBS so that he could record it off of a DVD, because he couldn't figure out how to rip the DVD and just like send us the matches. So he actually took like a lot of time out of his schedule to hook us up with those, and yeah, he gets a huge shout out as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, and yeah, that's our presentation. We had a lot of fun doing it. The crowd wasn't as big as we were hoping, but again, it happened at like 10, almost 10:30, 10:20.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to start at 9, but the brawl matches went on forever, and then they had another panel before ours. And yeah, I don't know. It was good. We got some good feedback. We were definitely a little bit more nervous presenting it on stage, I think. Antsy.
We were also very tired, honestly. We were extremely worn out from the travels, from working and stuff, and it was just all of that put together,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys liked it. This is kind of just a recap of what we presented. I don't know how many of you guys learned stuff or like this or disagree with it, but whatever your commentary is on it, please let us know. We might actually just recap this and put it on YouTube even.
Yeah, we could
do that.
Either this one or the original. We'll see.
I think I like this one.
Yeah? Okay.
Or the original.
Well, the original has the original clips. That's the thing.
Ah, the clips are important.
Yeah, the clips are pretty important. So.
Yeah. I hope we get to do stuff like this more often, though, because I feel like this is the kind of content that it's just like interesting.
Dude, I really like just going over the tournament, like kind of reliving it a little bit and like really sharing our perspective with it, because it's like the montage 2.0 without any editing. It's just like the raw clips, just like telling it with no bias, showing Chillin's rap battle, even though like maybe I shouldn't have, things like that. Like, someone even told me that, like, yeah, that's a strat. Like, people go to these events and they will stream their experience at the event, like with whatever pictures and photos that they took, and that actually works out really well because we are investing a lot of money into like good, like just like photo, video capture stuff, like cameras and shit. So yeah, why not share that with people, right?
With you guys.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is that like there are actually like a lot of the people that watch our show and a lot of people that watch the other channels as well. Like they want to see this content keep happening, and like for it to keep happening. Like the donations really matter, the subscriptions really matter. I think that's really cool, and I mean people will subscribe and donate. I hope on some kind of like merit basis sometimes. I mean I know a lot of it's like personality related, but I hope that they do see like the merit in it and like view us as having quality content, and I don't know want to see us keep going.
I want to keep going.
I want to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
This is amazing.